All right, good evening. Welcome to episode, I don't know, no, we're just live. Open mic night, we're calling it. Good evening to you. Let's see, get the computer fired up, and we are good to go. Let me see if I can get that crazy thing out of the way. Cool. All right. Hey, there we go. So we're live on, let's see, we're live on Facebook. Are we live on Twitter? I believe so. Yep, we're live on Twitter, and of course live on YouTube. So good evening to all of you. Welcome to what we're gonna call open mic night. That's the game plan. I'll see if I can get rid of that piece of light, but I can't. So we'll deal with that in a little bit. Let me see one more time. Get one more thing set up here. I wasn't exactly ready. I was right in the middle of a conversation just before this show, and I was like, "Ooh, let's get this going." So, but cool. So we're here. We're live on everything. We got that. I'm trying to see who's checking in. Facebook is again doing that thing where I can't see the comments. So Glenda, good evening to you from Phoenix. Glenda checks in. Karen checks in over on YouTube from Long Island. Good evening to you. Who else is here? Kathleen says hello from South Maryland. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too. Baltimore, Jennifer checks in. Good evening to you. It's Saturday night. Worked all day today and then working in the morning, so we won't be long tonight. Just want to check in. Jody says happy Saturday from Westport, Mass. Let's see. Judy says Judy listening from Ontario, Canada. So we've gone international. Very nice. Debbie from Rockford, Illinois. Good evening to you. Doing movie night with a neighbor. Oh, he lost his wife a year ago. Sad. That's fun. Sounds like a fun night though. Movie is Lake House. I have not seen that. Let's see. Let me go back to the beginning because I know I missed a lot. Erica is here from Missouri. Jennifer says no sound. The sound's working now, I believe. So Missy says good evening. Diane is here. Got you. Kathy's hello. Maria from Connecticut. Good evening to you. There we go. Erica says yeah, we'll come. The show starts in about 3 minutes. There we go. So Lori says we are on our way home from dinner. Hopefully catch y'all when we get to the house. We'll be here. Michael Crow. Good evening, sir. How are you? Hope all is well. Say hi to my brother on Monday when you see him, if he's there. Very nice. Jenny says, can you please check Slack for me? Yes, I saw your text. I saw Slack. I just haven't had a chance to get to them because I had to get to this. So I will, tomorrow morning, I will get those answers to you for sure. Yep. But I saw them come in. I just been doing a million things up until, and I want to take 10 minutes to sit and get you what you need for information. So very fun. Let's see. Erica says, yep, got it. Let's see. Minneapolis is in the house. Melissa's here. Let me do one quick thing here. The streams are acting a little crazy, so I want to make sure we're clear on everything. So let's just double check. All right. Looks like we're streaming. Okay. All right. Very cool. Rockford, Illinois. Coletta is here. I got Glenda from Phoenix said that. Let's see, going back to the end here. Tanny says hello from Michigan. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Saturday night even. Buenos noches, señor South bien. So Nora, je ne pas parler français el espagnol. I don't speak much but English, and I barely do that well. So good evening, I imagine is what that says, but I can't reply in Spanish. If Megan was here, she would help me with some Spanish. But she is not here tonight, so. Getting some, let's see, sound is really low. I think that's, Carla says its sound is really low. So, yeah, we have some issues. Sometimes you have to, like, really, really, really crank it up. Hopefully now it's better. Let's see, I just don't want to override. I did this last time. Every time I turned it up, it made it a mess. So, but anyway, so very fun. Michael says, will do. Let's see. Coletta says, hi, Tanya. Very nice. Diane is here. Good evening to you. Hello, everyone, says Jan. Jenny said, we are closing in on the Phoenix details. Everyone stay tuned. So, Jenny, yesterday, I don't know if you saw what I said yesterday. So, about Phoenix specifically, I have a major event on that Monday, the 29th, and I'm trying to coordinate that first. That is the priority, unfortunately. And if that comes through the way I've asked for it to come through, then I've got to reschedule Phoenix. If that doesn't come through, then I can commit to Phoenix. And I'm waiting for that. I'll probably give that another couple days to see if I get the response that I'm looking for on that. So Phoenix is a mess in that sense. Because of that, I can confirm like 90% that I'm in for Tulsa. That one I'm working on too. So just a lot goes into this. Jennifer says, explain open mic. So Jennifer, you ask a question, I answer it. Open mic, that's it. My name is Mike. So, and it's a play on words. So the number at the top of the phone here, top of the screen here, 317-662-4214. You can call in. You can text in. You can't call in. You can text in, and on occasion, I will make a call out if you want to, and we can chat on the phone. You can ask your question via the telephone. So text this number right here, or simply ask it in the group, and I will answer whatever questions you have here. So that's kind of how the game plan works. So real simple, nothing elaborate, and we just stay here until I decide that I'm going to go to bed. I'm guessing we'll be here for about 20 to 30 minutes or so. I got to work tomorrow morning, early in the morning. So very, 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 very fun. All right, let's see. So that's the game plan. You got this number right here, 317-662-4214. You text in, say, hey, Mike, I want to chat with you on the phone. Here's what I want to talk about. And I look through the text messages, and then I will reply back and say, yes, let's chat. Make sense? So Nora says, I don't speak Spanish either, but it was a good effort. Yeah. So in French, it's like je ne parle pas français, is I don't speak French, I think is how I learned that one phrase when I was in French. Funny story about, I went to Paris when I took French in high school, and we went, shortly after that I joined the military, and I went to France, Paris. We were on a little bit of trip. And I remember walking into, there was a Hard Rock Cafe in Paris, and I remember wanting a t-shirt that said Hard Rock Cafe. And so I've been out of high school now for a couple years, so my French was worse than it, it was really, really rusty. And I wanted to buy the t-shirt, so I walked into the Hard Rock, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking, okay, and I wanted to say something like, could I have probably a large t-shirt or an extra large t-shirt? And I was thinking, donnez-moi une grande t-shirt, and I couldn't put the words together, right? And I had no idea how to say, can I please have a large t-shirt? And as I was stumbling over the words, the lady behind the counter looks at me and she says, I'm from Ohio. What would you like? And I'm like, cool, I can do this. So that's my little story. Jan says, will this go to podcast land? No, this will live live on Twitter. It'll live live on YouTube. It'll live live on Facebook. But the audio will not make it to the actual podcast. So that is the game plan. Tanny says, have I heard about the emails that some WW members are receiving about new program changes coming in the future? Saw that online today. I have not seen that email, but I can tell you I heard Mindy Grossman did an interview with the shareholders, with stock people. I don't know who it was with. And she hinted that there would be changes coming, but that's as much as I know. So I believe, yes, there certainly, every couple years they make changes to the plan. So I would be a betting man. I would say, yes, something is going to change at the beginning of the year. So we'll see. Yeah. So I don't think it's a scam. If it came from WW, it's not a scam. And so, again, think about it. Think of how much the program has changed every year. And so freestyle came out 2 years ago. So we've had 2 years of freestyle. So they're due for a change just based off of historical data, right? It seems like the plan changes every year, every other year or so. So even with nothing going on, they're due for a little bit of enhancement, I would guess, just based on their cycle. But she did hint towards that there would be something coming, but I certainly don't know what. So let's see. It was je parle pas français. Is the correct je ne? So it's just je parle pas français. That's how I say I don't speak French. So let's see. Jenny says our leader today said they had a meeting with corporate and they are excited. I hope charms come back. Yeah, I saw some internal stuff that I don't know that I can share. That makes me excited. I can tell you that. That's all I know. I don't know. I don't know the rules on what I can say and what I can't say about internal things that I see as an employee. So I don't talk about them. I just talk about the things that I see in the public side. So the public stuff that I've seen is that Mindy has said that something will change. So whatever that means. That's as much as I know. Cindy says, I'm here. Good evening to you. Jennifer says, I don't want the freestyle to go away. Yeah, I don't. A lot of people, it's funny, a lot of people love it, a lot of people don't. With any program, anywhere, you're not going to have 100% love, right? So you got to find the piece that works for you. So you're good there. Let's see what else. So, let's see. There was a survey that sent to some asking what people would think of a plan that is basically keto. No thanks. Yeah, I don't know anything about keto. Not interested in keto. But think about, right. So even when they tested freestyle, they don't just make the plan and release it. So they make the plan, they develop the plan, whatever they're going to do, and then they test it with new people, with existing people, with past people, and they do all these tests, and then they tweak it, modify it, and then they release it. So there are probably people all over the place getting different programs, but that doesn't mean that's what's getting released, because they're probably part of a test group, and they're going to collect the data and make changes from there. So I don't know. Here's what I know, right? The Weight Watchers WW has been founded, and it's a 50-year company. Always in our best interest to try and make it work. Their intent is not to abandon us and say, sorry, good luck to you. So just, I know, I get it. I know there's some angst. I know there's some but there's got to be some trust on our end that they at least have our best interest at heart, and they will get towards resolving whatever issues you need to have resolved. That's just my guess. So, let's see. Tanny says, I know a lot of members are having difficulty with freestyle, but I've learned to watch my 0-point foods, and I think that is the key. That is totally the key. Not easy, though, right? Not easy to, if I had to rely on my own internal willpower, then I don't need a program to tell me how to do that. So I need some hard and fast rules. Do this, do this, do this, don't do that. Got it. I can do that. If it's, try this, I don't know. So I need hard. I did great on the Points Plus version before freestyle. That's when I lost all my weight. And then I was freestyle, the freedom, taking away the points for me, adding in a whole bunch of foods that I don't eat didn't help me at all. But I found moderation, and I found wellness in the middle of all this. So I'm content. So that's kind of the interesting stuff. Amelia says, how do you become part of a test group? I have no idea. I don't have a clue. And I honestly don't. I don't have a clue who they pick, how they pick. With billions of people on the planet, and they're probably testing with, a few hundred. It's probably like winning the lottery. But I do know that they do, they do test it. People have different versions, and they're part of a sworn to secrecy control group, I'm sure. And then they measure the results, they measure the data, and then they release it. So again, they can't just release it, say, hey, we're going to change this and let's just see how it works. They have to have it a control group for some folks. So, let's see. Jennifer's asking about a dairy substitute yogurt. Anyone? The ones I have are found are 9 points. Yeah, that's not the question for me. I don't know anything about dairy substitute yogurt. So, interesting. All right, let's see what else we have. So game plan tonight really is I'm just going to hang out for as long as you guys want to hang out. No show, no agenda. Just answering whatever questions you have, talking about whatever it is you want to talk about, and and we'll go from there. Ann says she got a survey about a family program. Yep, I've heard that. I've heard there was a survey about online stuff, online meetings. I've heard there was a survey that was like a couple years ago, so I don't know the status of that, but again, surveys are to collect data, and then they take the data and make decisions. So survey doesn't mean it's coming. Survey means what does enough people think. And so here's where, I'm gonna relate this back to golf, because this was my conversation with my wife earlier today about golf. Right now, Tiger Woods competing in the Masters. He's wearing a Nike shirt that is a kind of like almost like a a turtleneck, a mock turtleneck. And so he's wearing this shirt, and the world's going crazy that this guy is wearing a mock turtleneck at the Masters when he should be wearing a shirt with a collar. Well, by definition, that shirt has a collar. So here's where I'm going with this is no matter who you are, no matter what's going on, there is going to be somebody on the planet who doesn't like what you're doing. So think about that when it comes to this program, right? There is not going to be one program that is going to 100% solve every single person on the planet's issues. Just never going to happen. So we have to go with the broader audience, and so that means there will be people who go, okay, this doesn't work for me. The new change doesn't work for me. And so with the billions of people on the planet, that's someone's going to get left behind. So the masses have to go with, the companies have to go, how can we benefit the most people by making a plan that's generic enough to appeal to more people than not? And that's the plan of the survey. They do surveys, they ask questions, and I don't know this stuff. This is just my knowledge of marketing and how you're supposed to market. You don't just make something and just release it without testing it with somebody. So anyway, woo. Debbie says Mike froze on me. Check back after the movie. Okay, well I'm back. I'm here. So. Jennifer says, got to get up at 4:45 Eastern. See you in the morning. Yeah, I'm up at 5:30 tomorrow Eastern as well. So won't be long tonight, but I just want to check in, see what's going on with you, and see what questions you had. I would glad to answer what we call open mic night. So Karen from Tennessee finally caught you live. Woo! Good evening to kids. So we have 2 Karens over on YouTube. Nice. So Hildy is saying you can go to Amazon to buy other stuff. So yeah, Amazon stuff. Renee checks in from Miami, Oklahoma. Good evening to you. Debbie said the best plan is the plan that you can do forever. Don't disagree at all. Maria says, hi Mike, tried calling because I had trouble texting. Struggle with changes in my life since I went back to work. Haven't worked in a decade. Found a place that I love working at, but I get up so early I can't eat. Then I eat at 10:30 a.m. and can't eat again until I get home from work around 3. By then I'm starving. I end up eating a huge meal and feeling defeated. Help. All right. So, if you tried text, you said you tried, if you text in, I can call you. If you just at least text your number, I can call you if you want to chat about it. Otherwise, I'll just discuss it right now. Here's what's interesting, and so when you say, and I'm going to pick on you, and only out of love, right? When you say you have to get up too early, you can't have breakfast. You can actually. We've got to probably make a plan for it. So, if you have time to shower and you have time to brush your teeth, you have time to grab a banana, and eat the banana in the car as you're on the way to work. You have time for, it's probably going to take a little bit of work. You don't have time to get up in the morning and cook bacon and eggs, right? You certainly don't have time for that. But there are things that you can do, even a protein bar for breakfast, throw it in your purse, eat it on the train, eat it in your car. You can make this work. So we have to get to the point where we say, okay, I can make it work. And same thing as if you pack, whatever your work bag is, whatever you're taking to work every day, and have some go-to things full of protein in the middle of the day, a bag of nuts, a protein bar again. Not that we want to just keep doing protein bar, but in your scenario, it sounds like that would be a good little, easy to carry something to get you through the next meal. So, Tracy, this is very nice. Tracy says, not a question, but last week of maintenance, lifetime is coming. Very, very cool. Congratulations on that. Tell me how it feels. Right? Does it feel pretty good? Next week, what day of the week do you weigh in? I'm curious about that, so we can celebrate with you. And then I want you to email into the show, right? On air at fatdag.com. So Missy says, hard-boiled eggs. We boil 18 eggs at a time and you have them all week. Yep. I don't do hard-boiled eggs. That's not going to work for me, but, certainly that is, but the whole point is you've got to prep for it. If you're going to wake up in the morning and then think about what's for breakfast, that's going to add 5 minutes to your morning that you just don't have. So what you need to do is you need to wake up and be able to grab it as you're walking out. And so a lot of people have a lot of success meal prepping just for that reason. They'll meal prep their breakfast, they'll meal prep their lunch, and meal prep dinner on a Sunday night. And so everything for the week is laid out. So there's no decision that has to be made when it comes to food. It's just a grab and go. And that sounds like where you're at. You just need to get to the point where the ones you can't control and you don't have time for, you need to be able to grab something on the go and have it so that you have it. Michael says prep is key, and I completely agree with that. The other thing that works with prep prep is very, very important. But the thing when you don't prep is now you have to make a decision, which takes time for one. I mean, even tonight when my wife and I went to dinner, we spent, I don't know, a good 10 minutes trying to figure out where we were going. Do you want to go here? 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 And so as we were driving, we were making a decision on where we wanted to go. Easily that conversation was 5 to 10 minutes, right? So that's 5 to 10 minutes that you probably don't have. So that's what, and then when the reason prep saves your time for one, but the other thing it does is you're asking yourself to make the best choice when you're hungry and when you're irritable, probably because you are hungry. And now it's difficult to make the right choice under those circumstances. So prep saves you time, and you're making the decision when you're at your best and you're at your peak of motivation and willpower. Don't rely on your willpower to get you there when you're, unfortunately having to make decisions on the fly. It's going to be very, very difficult. Twitter is asking, how is the vegetable experiment coming? Try anything new lately? So yeah, I had spinach again. I'm now a spinach eater. I don't know. Don't ask me how that happened. Actually, I can tell you how it happened. I got tricked into eating spinach. So I don't do spinach. No way, no how, not going to happen. So I posted a couple days ago. We went to lunch and went to dinner, and I ordered a salad, and there were onions on it. I didn't eat the onions, and so I just started eating it, and I didn't know the difference between. Honestly, this is dumb, right? I didn't know what spinach looked like, so I thought it was just a bowl of lettuce, and some lettuce was darker green with others. I didn't know. They were just green leaves. So I'm eating this spinach and salad with spinach in it, and my wife says something to the effect, it was raw spinach. My wife says something to the effect of, like, are you eating the spinach? And I was like, what? And so I instantly stopped eating it. That was the end of it for me. But then I realized that I had sat in there and eaten a good portion of it. So, what day of the week? I don't know. Probably think it was Thursday of this week. I can't remember. I think it was Thursday. In our cafeteria at work, I went down to the cafeteria. They have a salad bar, and I recognized that there was spinach there, and I was like, oh, cool. And so I loaded it into my salad, and I ate it. It was fine. I didn't even die or nothing, which was kind of crazy. Melissa from Minneapolis. So thanks for that question. So yeah, I'm working on trying new stuff all the time. Yeah, so Michael says to this, he says, the scan capability on the WW app helps while grocery shopping and while looking at restaurant menus. Yeah, it totally does. Yep, so, all right, so, I want to type something here. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So, let's see. Scan the word capability. Not sure what that means. Not sure what that's saying. Nora says, I don't track creamer. Only use a very small amount. Don't track vitamins either. Cheater, pumpkin eater. So here's the deal, right? So I want you to track everything, your creamer, your ketchup, but it all depends on how, if you're one of those person that you're using every single point, using all your weeklies, using all your fit points, and then not tracking some, you're not going to like the results you get. But if you're tracking everything and using your points and using your weeklies, that works out fine as long as you're tracking everything. So there's a balance somewhere in the middle that you have to figure out what works for you. You certainly eating your weeklies works, not eating your weeklies works, but the reality is it's not whether or not you put it in the app, it's what you're doing actually consuming them. That's where the game comes. So if you are not tracking your creamer and you're not tracking ketchup and you're not tracking, a bite here and a bite there, and you're using all of your points to include your weekly points, again, you may not like the results that you're getting. Number one rule, though, is if you do like the results, you always continue doing what you're doing, period. Doesn't matter what the app says, doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter what if you like the results you're getting, keep doing everything that you're doing and modify it when you no longer like the result. That's the number one rule. So, Maria says, I track my creamer 2 points a day. The other reason that tracking the creamer is important is when you get to goal, you're allowed to add points back. So the app is set up to put you in a weight loss mode if you have it set up that way, right? Most of us do. You're in a weight loss mode. When you get to goal and you get to lifetime, you get the option to choose how many points you want to add back into your day to maintain your weight. So it's about 6 for some people. I've seen some people as low as 2 and 3. And it's going to be different for everybody. So if you're one of those people that you're guessing on everything, then you're probably closer to being able to add 2 or 3 points in. But if you're super accurate in tracking everything, then you may have the opportunity to add 6 back in. Again, you're going to have to, that's why we do 5 weeks of maintenance, is so that you can figure out what's working, what's not working. And so what I recommend is, when you get to goal, you add 3 points back in. You do that for a week. If the scale goes down, you add a point. If the scale goes up, you take away a point. And you just keep kind of playing with it until you figure out what number you need to hit to maintain your weight. So, very fun. So again, if you want to text in, 317-662-4214, this number right here, I think it's over here. You text in and ask your question, tell me who you are, and I will reach out via the telephone and bring you into the show, and everyone can hear, and we can talk about the question as well. Carolyn checks in on YouTube from Noblesville. Very nice, very nice. So, let's see. But I don't want to, I'll text you back, and then we'll confirm, because I don't want to just call you and then let you be live on all the everything. So, so if I text you back, text back. Yeah, so Tony says, good question. I appreciate that. Thank you. She says, for us newbies here, can you tell us a little bit about your story and how long have you worked for WW? So, my story, I'll give you the synopsis. You can listen to it in my podcast, episode 12, and I believe episode 54 will give you a longer version of my story. You can get my podcast for free in your app store. Go to WhysAdvice with Fat Dag in your app store, WHYS, WhysAdvice. Because we're focusing on your why. So I'm active duty Air Force currently, still wear the uniform every single day. In fact, I wore it today and I'm going to wear it tomorrow morning. I manage recruiting for the state of Indiana. And so if I've been a military recruiter for 17 years, and for about probably 20, and I've been in 27 years total. For about 20 of those years, I was overweight. I've been on and off with WW, Weight Watchers. I would lose 20 pounds, gain 30 pounds, lose 30 pounds, gain 40 pounds, lose 40 pounds, gain 50 pounds. I did that for multiple times, and I finally got to the point where my weight just kept creeping up, and it hindered my career, and I failed my first fitness test for the Air Force. And so not a good thing when you're in the Air Force and you can't do your fitness test. So I failed the fitness test, and then I go to I try and fix it on my own. I don't go back to WW at the time. I try and fix it on my own. Doesn't work. For long story short, for about 2 years, I neglected to do my fitness test. I just didn't do it. I knew I couldn't pass it, so I didn't do it. One morning, I woke up. Let me back up. One year I said, okay, I'm going to wean myself off of soda. I was drinking 12 sodas a day. And so I went from 12 sodas a day overnight on New Year's Day to 0, thinking that would be the answer. If I quit drinking soda, quit drinking all those calories, I would lose weight. So for an entire year, not a single drop of soda, gained 20 pounds. And that really irritated me because that was a major lifestyle shift for me. I was soda for breakfast, soda for dinner, soda on the nightstand going to bed. And so to give up soda for an entire year and to gain 20 pounds that year, again, extremely, extremely frustrating. So that was 1 year. The following year, still overdoing my fitness test, still overweight, reached a weight of 263.5 pounds, the most I've ever weighed in my entire life. And January 1st, I was like, okay, this year I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm really gonna make a difference. And so, middle of 1st of January, I go to a gym. We signed up for LA Fitness. I go to the gym just about every single day in January, 5 o'clock in the morning, all right? Every single day in January. Every single day in February, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm at the gym. March 1st, hop on the scale, no change. I weighed the exact same. So now soda didn't work. The gym didn't work. I was now very frustrated. Now I'm running up against a time clock. The Air Force decides they've had enough with me. They want to kick me out. They want to remove me from my position because I'm just not passing my fitness test. So March 1st, I said, okay, I know WW works. I know Weight Watchers works. So I'm gonna go back to Weight Watchers. So March 1st, 2016, I signed up for WW again online. I was an online member. And so on March 1st, I tracked every single thing I ate, right? I was really good at tracking. And March 2nd, I tracked every single bite I ate. March 3rd, I tracked, some of the bites that I ate and most of it. And March 4th, I tracked some of it. And so I slowly quit tracking. And I realized then that I needed more. I needed to go into the meeting room. I needed that little bit of accountability. So March 8th, 2016, I walked into the meeting room and I said, I need help. March 8th, I posted on Connect inside the WW app. In my uniform, I was standing there and I said, folks, I'm in the military. I'm getting ready to get kicked out of the military. I need help. And the community in Connect answered, how can we help you? What can we do? And we had that post kind of went viral back then. And so instantly about 8,000 people liked the post. And I'm like, okay, I have people keeping an eye on me. I have accountability. And so from March 8th, I believe, to September 20th, I tracked every single bite I ate. I tracked my ketchup. I tracked Tic Tacs. When I was out of points, I stopped eating points. I would go to bed at 6 p.m. if I had no points left over. 0-point foods didn't exist on this program. So I had to teach myself how to have limits, how to have self-control, and just how to stop, and then make better choices the following day. And so I didn't cheat at all during that time frame. And so from March 8th to September 20th, I lost 91 pounds. So took my fitness test, got an excellent on the fitness test, saved my military career, and then in November of that year decided I wanted to give back to the community that gave back to me, and I applied to be a WW coach, was selected, and I started January of 2017 as a Weight Watcher leader, now a coach, and I lead 2 meetings a week now for them. So all of that, of course, everything I say here is my own opinion. This is not a company-related podcast. This is just me, Mike, me, Fat Dag, as a person helping you on your journey. Because the thing that I learned is that I thought I was all alone. I had no idea there was a community of people who could help each other. So my goal is to make sure that whatever resource you need to get to goal, I provide it. I want to make sure you get there. So that's been my kind of mission ever since then. So yeah, that is the story. So thank you for asking, Tony. I hope that answered your question. I'd be glad to give you more follow-ups. But episode 54, episode 12, 11 or 12, I think, are the ones. Someone, if you guys know, what numbers they are. So I think it's 54 for sure. So you go into the app and find it. So anyway. Tamberly says, I love the story. Yeah, you should try living it. Woo! Michael says, we're in this together. So, dude, I know. So what's crazy now, this is the crazy thing. So my original plan, I wanted to stay till I got to 30 years of service. That was my goal. I wanted to serve for 30 years. My dad was in the military. My older brother's in the military. And so we're a military family. So my goal was to serve as, I'm like, they're going to have to kick me out. Little did I know that I was giving them reasons to kick me out. But beyond that, I was like, no, they're gonna have to remove me from my chair when I'm too old to serve. So once I saved my career on my own terms, I picked up. You guys started following and chiming in. I started a nonprofit. Operation Fat Dag is approved by the IRS as a 501c3. And so that nonprofit is aiding other military members save their careers and get healthy and get fit. And so what's happened is now the work that I want to do actually requires me to advocate on behalf of military members, first of all, and to have changes made to the military so that we can do more and fill in some of the gaps. And so that actually requires me to now get out of the military 3 years earlier than I wanted to, so that I can really have the impact that I want to have impact. So it's funny, the journey that saved my career also is forcing me on my terms to end it early. So I retire on August 1st officially. My retirement ceremony is June 28th. I put it out there more than once. If you go to fatdag.com, you'll see a countdown clock for my retirement ceremony. If you click on the countdown clock, there's a link in behind that hidden, but I'm telling you about it. You click on that, it invites you to my retirement ceremony. If you're in Indianapolis and want to be here for that ceremony, I would love to have you here as part of that. It's going to be a great day, and then the next morning we'll get up and do the Indy Ultimate. So cool. Tanny says, we appreciate everything you do. So inspiring. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jody says, you are very inspiring. Thank you. So here's the deal. I said this all the time. I believe, I got this via text and I'm waiting for a response back, but it says, how do you say I believe in you when you don't personally know the person or their abilities or their nature, right? So that's a great question. How can I sit here and look at you and say, I believe in you when I don't know you? I don't know what your circumstances are. I don't know what capabilities you have. I know nothing about some of you, unfortunately, yet, right? I may know nothing about you yet, except for what I do know is powerful. And what I do know is that I didn't believe I could do this. And I found a way to do it. And now, as I lead meetings and do workshops, I see everybody who comes into my room has some level of success, right? And so some people, it's success is 5 pounds, and then they no longer show up anymore. And some people, they make it all the way to goal. I've seen people lose hundreds of pounds, 150, 160, 175 pounds. I've seen it from people that I saw on day one. So let me, let's see. All right. So I've seen it with my own 2 eyes that people are truly, truly successful. So that's the question Anne just asked me, and I'm going to call her in a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit deeper into that, and we're going to put her on the phone. So hopefully that's the game plan. So here it goes. So let's go ahead and make this call. Let's do that. You guys want that? You want to make a phone call instead? It's way more fun when we chat on the phone. Let's do this. Let me pull up my phone here. Dun, 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 dun. So let's do there. Hang on with me. Let's see if this works.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
I can only try. And I got your voicemail. Let me try one more time. See if make sure I dialed it right. Let's try again. We'll see if we get voicemail again.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Great. How are you doing?
I am great. I either got your voicemail or I dialed the number wrong the first time. I don't know what I did, but hey, real quick before we get started.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, okay, so you're live on Facebook, you're live on Twitter, and you're live on YouTube. So I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure you knew that. So go ahead, ask me your question. So you said, how do I say I believe in you when I have no idea who you are or your abilities or your nature? Is that what your question is?
Yeah, that's my question, because I've worked in education, and I would hate to tell a kid who I know is not going to be like an astrophysicist, because he or she is struggling with just basic math, and maybe more inclined to be in the humanities or something else, and it's hard. It's hard to juggle that line. Like, I don't want to crush their dreams, but at the same time, I know that they probably don't have it in them to make it to that, that dream that they have, and would like to redirect them to something that's more realistic. So, you don't know 99% of us.
Right.
And yet, I know you say you believe in us, but, there's so many obstacles, mental, physical, etc. And then, so it's hard to believe a stranger who says, "Hey, I believe in you," because, okay, well, hey, that's great.
Yay! Yeah. So I completely agree with you, and I'll explain why I still believe it. And I agree with you in the sense where, like, not everyone's going to grow up and be the president. But as a parent, we say to our kid, well, if you want to be the president, then you can be the president. And you're right. Not everyone's going to. And some people just do not have the capability to be the president of the United States. I don't have that capability. I get it. So if someone were to look at me right now and say, Mike, you can do that if you want, I know myself enough to go, yeah, no, not happening. So I appreciate the honesty, especially as a teacher. Your job is to find the best in them and bring out the best at them, and make sure that they become successful in the lane that they are going to be successful in. I get that. My wife is an amazing school teacher, so I hear story after story after story of these things that you're telling me. So here's where I go with this. So I didn't believe that even I could do this when I started. I was hoping, when I joined this time around, I was hoping to lose, 20 pounds. At best, I thought maybe 30 to 40. Right? I had no concept of that 91 pounds was possible for me to lose. And so when I started, I had no dream. And if someone said, hey, Mike, I believe in you, you can lose 91 pounds, I would have said, no way, not happening. And I may have even quit before I even started, because if someone would have convinced me that that was the goal, it would have been too hard of a goal for my brain to grasp. And I would have said, no, I'm not doing that. So I don't say, that, I don't put limits on your journey, and I don't put goals on your journey. But what I know is you have the ability to make better choices in your food. Period. No matter what medical diagnosis you have, no matter what capability you have, you can look at a food and choice, and you can take one less bite. You can not have as big of a lunch, and you can do some meal prep. So the things that we're asking folks to do to completely change their life here, they're not so difficult that they can't be done. The challenge certainly is, how do I balance my lifestyle? What am I willing to change in my lifestyle to get to the point where things start changing for me? So the reason that I believe in you, and I believe in you with all of my heart, the reason that I believe in you is because I've seen it time and time and time again of people who didn't know that they could do it, and they find a little bit of success. And one of the things I want you to do, and I want everyone listening to do, which I think is very important, is outline and write down things that you have done on this journey that have worked. And it may not be weight loss related, but if you can wake up and you can track breakfast, that's victory, regardless of what the number is. And so then you just say, okay, now if I can track breakfast every day this week, let's just simply start with doing that. Okay, next week we'll add, let's track breakfast and lunch. Next week, the week after that, let's track breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then after that, okay, now let's track breakfast and see if we can keep it under this number. Hey, let's track lunch. And you kind of build on it. So you don't have to start day one being perfect, but you just slowly build on the smallest level of success that you have, and you keep adding to it. Does that make sense?
You know what, it does. And Mike, it also adds to your integrity and your credibility, because you're not offering a pie in the sky, hey, this is going to be, easy. I believe in you. God bless you.
Right.
Sign of the cross.
Yeah, go do it. Go do it. Wake up this morning. Go eat. Go kill it.
Down.
Right. So have you heard the analogy I gave when I talked about someone going to the gym? Have you heard me say that before? So I love sharing the story. As someone asked me before, they said, I want to start going to the gym. And I say it does you no good to go to the gym and do a Navy SEAL cardio kickboxing workout, and you go to the gym for 2 hours and you leave there so sore that you can't get back to the gym for a month, and you don't want to go back because you're tired. And so what I say to people in that scenario, and it sounds weird and people laugh at me, and I said, here's your goal this week. I want you to go to the gym every day this week. And they look at me kind of cross-eyed, and I go, hang on, listen. I said, all I want you to do is go into the parking lot. On your way home from work, pull in the parking lot, look at the sign, and go home. It'll take you all of 2 minutes, so don't tell me you can't do it. It'll take you 2 minutes, pull in the parking lot, and go home. That's week 1. Do that every day for a week. Week 2, pull in the parking lot. Maybe this time you go in and you say hi to the receptionist, and then you leave. That's week 2. You do that every day for 14 days now. Now, week 3, maybe on week 3 you walk past the receptionist and you go look at a treadmill and you come back. And I'm really, really stretching this out for a month, but at the end of the month, you've now gone to the gym every day this month. Now, are we getting the results we want? not entirely, but the results we're after are mental, not physical. So you've now proven to yourself that you can get to the gym every day this month. Now we have to, as we get there, do a little bit more so that we just build on it. And like I said, it sounds kind of corny when, if you're a trainer, if you hired a personal trainer and they said, this is what we're going to do, you would quit paying them. You would laugh. But the reality is when you get to this point in this process is now a month into it, you're like, I'm actually doing this, and I'm actually building on it. So you could probably speed up the timeline that I just outlined, but that's what I want you to do. I want you to do something every single day that's so simple that you can repeat it tomorrow. And so if you're having difficulty tracking, I don't want you to track a full day and stay on plan. I don't think it does you any good because that's too hard for some people at this point. So simply start by tracking breakfast every single day. That's it. And if you track breakfast every single day and nothing else, now again, we may not be working on the scale at this point in the journey. We're really working on the mindset and we're working on the habits. So you track breakfast every single day. There's no reason why you can't at least do that. Then week 2, add lunch. Week 3, add dinner. And then week 4, try and see if we can get the point number less. And I tell people in my workshops when they come in, I say, the number one thing I tell them is I said, after we do the whole orientation piece, I say, now listen, you're motivated, you're on fire, you came in here today with a goal. I said, you are going to leave here on fire, ready to do this, but your pantry didn't know you were coming here. When you went grocery shopping last week, before week 1, you didn't know you were going to join Weight Watchers 2 days later. So there are things in your house right now that you will probably eventually no longer buy. I do not want you to go home and throw them away. I want you to eat about the same way you did this week as you did last week. And again, this is for week 1 people. And I say the reason that's important is because you need to understand the cause and effect to what you're doing. If you love Twinkies, and I do, if you love Twinkies and you bought a box last week and you come home from your first workshop and you throw them away, then for the rest of your life, you're going to be thinking, I'm on a diet, I can no longer have them, and it's not going to work for you. But if week 1, you come home and you scan the box and it says it's 30 points or whatever it is, and you say, okay, I'm going to have it anyways. I know it's 30 points. I'm going to put it in my app as 30 points. I'm going to have it anyways. The next time you go to have one, you will already know that it's 30 points, and then you will make a different decision. You may still have it, but you're at least now thinking about it. And then slowly but surely, you'll get to the point where the next time you go to the grocery store, you'll look at that box and you'll be like, that's not worth 240 points. And you'll scan the thing next to it, and that'll be 200 points, and you'll go with that. And then as a long-term journey, that's where the success comes from. And so now you've completely changed your life versus living on a diet temporarily and not making it work. How is that? Make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. But there are so many people out there who are just struggling, who don't have that initial fever.
Yep.
And this is their 4th or 5th time on Weight Watchers. So what do you say to them?
Yeah, so that's a fun one. That's a great conversation when I have that. When someone comes back into my meeting and they say, yeah, I'm back, the first thing I do is say, congratulations, welcome back. I make it really important that that we welcome them back. But here's what I tell them. I said, listen, if you're coming back to the program, you're coming back because you know it works. You would not pay for something that you were convinced 100% did not work. There's no way you would pay for that. So the fact that you pull out your credit card again means that in the back of your head, you believe this works, or else you wouldn't pay for it, period. No one would. You just wouldn't. So if you believe it works, now what we have to do is figure out what parameters are going to make it work long-term for you, because it has worked in the past, at least enough for you to pull out your card to pay again. So welcome back. Now sit through the group, sit through here. No, never quit on the meeting, and let's work through this. And the way the workshops are set up is really the first 10 or 15 minutes of the workshop is tell me what you need, and we will work through it together as a group. And it's one of the most powerful things we do in our workshop is when someone says, I'm having trouble with this, almost always someone else raises their hand and says, me too, me too, me too, me too. And then that builds the community and people go, okay, we can do this together. So Weight Watchers, you guys, if you see it on all of their on all of their advertisements, right? It says at the very bottom in the very fine print, it says members following the plan can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. They specifically use the word expect, and they use the numbers 1 to 2, and they use a timeline per week. So, I mean, that's been vetted by the legal team a gazillion times. So if they're putting in their advertising, members following the plan can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, we simply have to figure out what members following the plan means. That's the hardest part, for sure, but that's the piece we got to work on.
Yeah. So, Mike, like somebody comes out of your meeting, let's say on like a Saturday, and oh my God, by Tuesday, they're just depleted, deflated.
Yep.
I mean, or listening to your podcast, they're all charged up on Sunday, but by Tuesday or Wednesday, they're just like, oh, geez, this is never going to change.
Yep.
So, I mean, what's your suggestion for them?
Yeah, so you're asking all the right questions. It's almost like you were a plant. I love this. This is a great conversation. No, I love it. I love it.
Well, no, part of it's like me, and part of it's like I'm looking from the outside in as an educator.
Yep. So when we get to this point, and we got to figure out all of this, the process, and and people, they come in on fire, right? And they leave the meeting. The meetings and the workshops are fantastic. And so, and even I like the podcast, right? I mean, it's my own podcast, so of course I like it. But what happens is I can't be there 24/7 for you. And the meeting is 30 minutes a week. There's more meals than there are meetings a week, right? For sure. So what we have to understand is that motivation is strongest when you leave the meeting. For some people it's just before the meeting, right? Some people leave the workshop and go right to dinner, and that's a whole different mindset. And then they wake up the next morning and they're back on fire. So I'm a firm believer, and that's kind of why I started this podcast too, was that I don't believe a weekly workshop is enough. It certainly wasn't enough for me. I needed additional accountability throughout the course of the week. And I needed really, you've probably seen the internet meme that says, I don't really need a workout partner as much as I need someone following me around and slapping the food out of my hand. And so that's kind of what I need. I need someone every step of the way saying, Mike, do you really want that for dinner? So my hope is that for those who, motivation comes through the process, and, you're motivated early in the week, and then Friday night comes by and all of a sudden the motivation's gone, and then you can't reboot until Monday. That's not the consistency that we need. So my hope for folks in that scenario is that right now we have 265 episodes of the podcast. So you could listen to one every single day for 265 days. You can certainly listen to them more and more. You can hop on Connect. You can hop on Instagram. You can hop on Facebook. You can hop in the Wise Wingman group, and you can simply say, hey, I need a little bit more motivation because the meeting is not for 3 more days. And you got to find, I'm even a big fan of putting reminders in your phone at every meal. Have it pop up at 11 o'clock. Have it pop up at 5 o'clock. Don't forget, you're a rock star. You want to do this. So, but it takes a reminder, because you start this journey for a reason. Everyone joins, whether you know the reason or not, you join for a very specific reason. That reason doesn't just go away. And so we have to always be reminded of it. And there are goals that you can set a weight loss goal and set a social goal, and they can be completely conflicting with each other. And so you could be very happy one day that you're working on your weight loss goal, but then now you're like, well, I actually do want to go to this social event. That's one of my goals is to network more or whatever. And that could mean that you're completely conflicting with your weight loss goal. So then now there's a balance piece that has to come in, and you have to figure out which goal is more important at the time. And in order to be successful at one or the other, you either have to balance them perfectly, or one has to take the priority more often than not. And that becomes an internal choice that you're going to have to make to figure out where that balance lies for you. What else you got? You got all the great questions tonight.
Hey, thanks. No, I mean, this is just been formulating in my mind, especially the whole I believe in you. I'm like, you don't even know me, so how can you believe in me?
Yep.
Yep.
So
and I'm sure there are other people who may think that because they don't have, a lot of self-confidence, and like myself. And so it's just like, okay, so this guy who I really like is saying, I believe in you, but you don't even know me.
So tell me.
But I'm glad you kind of cleared it up.
In your journey, what's the best you've done weight loss wise with your journey ever?
Oh my goodness. I got within 1 pound of being under 200. And then I just blew it. What was
did you mind sharing the total loss that was that to get you to that number? You don't have
to. 80 some pounds.
Okay. So that's why I believe in you. That's why I believe in you right there.
It was like 82.
Right there. That's why I believe in you, because you did not do that on accident. No way, no how. during that period of time, you were dialed in, you were unstoppable. That was the only thing, probably that was your only priority in your life, and you were putting all your focus, all your effort into that journey. And then somewhere along the way, something else, either, maybe, and for some people a job change, for some people a loss of a parent, things change, and you simply just lose your focus. So that's why I believe in you, because you've proven to me already that you can do it. There's no question that you can do it. You can't lose 82 pounds on accident. No way, no how. So this makes the conversation even easier now, because I'm like, yeah, I totally believe in you. I believe in you more now than when I first started talking to you. How's that?
Okay, I'll take it.
It's true, though.
And this is recorded, right? So I can play it back for myself.
It is.
Every time I don't believe in myself.
Yep. Real quick, someone on Facebook, Amelia, says you can go to more than one meeting a week. So that's a great. I always forget to mention that, but that's so true. You can go to, if you wanted to go to a meeting every single day, and your facility offered it, depending on where you live, sometimes that's just not an option. But I know in our facility, we have 13 meetings every week in that room. So you certainly could show up every single day to keep your motivation. Now, again, sometimes that becomes challenging for the calendar, which is why I like the podcast and like some other online tools. But yeah, so yeah, whew.
Yeah, but I just don't find my meetings all that invigorating, especially since they switched my leader. And then I feel like if I'm going to a couple of meetings a week, I'm like, okay, like I'm in AA. It's like, yeah, no, but it just, I don't, you got to have the right leader, I think.
Yep, I agree with that. And so here's the other piece I offer to that. And I kind of hinted towards it earlier is the meeting structure, the way these things are structured is the first 10 to 15 minutes of the meeting truly should be you as a member saying, what do I need from this room? And so at any point during the meeting, you should be able to put your hand up and say, hey, listen, I don't believe in me. Does someone believe I can do this? Yes or no? And I promise you someone in the room was like, you know what? You can do this. Yeah, totally you can do this. And so find a way to, if for anyone who says their meeting doesn't work for them, there certainly could be some leaders that they don't work. One, so find another leader if that's an option. But number two is control the meeting in a sense where not necessarily dominate it, but steer the conversation by saying, you know what, I need help this week with whatever. And I promise you won't be the only one in the room that has that scenario. And then now all of a sudden the conversation switches to that, and you'll leave there going, man, that was a great meeting. I got everything I needed. Yeah, because you asked the questions. So.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Yeah, I know I don't speak up enough in the meetings.
Yeah.
And because there's so many people, and there are people who are worse off than you are. So you just sort of feel like.
Yep.
Yeah,
but
you can't.
And I slightly disagree.
I think express what's going on with you because there are people who are worse off.
Yeah, but I think we're all in the same boat, right? I think we're all, everyone has something internally that they're not sharing, because that's just human nature. And so you can look at someone who appears that everything's under control, and you have no idea what's going on back in the back of their mind, and how they got there or whatever. But so I just go, okay, we're all on equal playing field. I make it clear in my workshop, if you need something out of this, you have to articulate what it is that you need, and bring it forward. And so. And that's the design, and that's the structure. And so pay attention when you go to your next workshop and just listen for what your leader says at the beginning. They're really just asking questions just to kind of get the room to kind of open up. And so that's what they a lot of them should be doing. And then feel free, if the leader says, what did you do this weekend? Feel free to say, hey, wait a minute. What I actually want to talk about is, why doesn't my air fryer cook chicken? Whatever, And they'll and your leader will gladly take the conversation in that direction, because the room will be like, yeah, me too. So.
Yeah.
All righty.
Good advice, Mike. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You are very.
I'm going to let somebody else.
You are very welcome.
Over.
So I meant what I said I certainly believed in you when you first called, when we first started talking, but the more we started talking, my belief for you has grown 10 times just on this one phone call. No question about it. And that's hard to do because I totally believed in you in the beginning. And so now I believe in you more so that you've actually proven that you can do it. So now it's like, I totally believe in Ann. She totally got this. So, all righty.
Well, thank you.
You
Don't
betcha.
start making me cry.
Well, I won't make you cry. Let's
gonna
hang
hang
up.
up.
Let's do that so you don't cry. But
Okay.
have a great night, and I wish you, of course, good focus. Okay.
Of course, to everybody else as well. Thank you so much, Mike.
You bet.
And everybody else. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye bye. How fun is that? Marty says, "I believe in you." Yep, that's how this whole thing works, right? We're just the belief that we can do this. Man, I tell you. And do you guys agree with me? Did I say anything during that phone exchange that you didn't agree with? I'm just curious if it made sense, if it resonated. I think I was right on, right? I mean, I'm always gonna think I'm right. That's how I work. But man, whew. Let's see. Jane says, I love Jane's comment. Jane says, be greedy. Remember, you never know who you might be helping in the meeting by speaking up. Totally true. Totally true. Marty says, if you threw your problems in the center of the room with everyone else's, you'd be happy to take your own back. Yep, that's one of my favorite quotes as well. It comes from Andy Andrews. I don't know if you know that, but Andy Andrews is the author that wrote that. And basically he says, if you had the ability to write down all of your issues, and you could sit in a room with people and you would write your issues down and you would throw them into the pile, but the rule is you have to take something out. You can't get out of this world scot-free. You have to take one of the problems that are in the pile. You would open that pile and you would read and you would like, ooh, don't want that. You dig through the pile and you go, ooh, don't want that. And then you would all of a sudden get to the point where you start digging for your own issues because you know how to handle them, at least enough to get you to this point where you're now making a change. So Amelia says, not a loss. Everything I believe, so very fun. And Karen says, absolutely cool. Tanny says it was sound advice. I don't want us to overthink this, you know? Renee says, I now believe I can do this. That's why Fat Dag believes in me. He is no joke. Nope. And I'm not even funny sometimes. I try, but I'm not. So no joke at all. It's true, genuine sincerity. I mean, man, I tell you, 100% believe in you. I do, you know? And of course, yeah, there's a learning curve. There totally is a learning curve, you know? This is not easy, but it's doable. So Judy says, when you tell someone you believe in them, they begin to believe in themselves. Yeah, they do. They totally do. Let's see. Melissa says, yes, it resonates. I also think that you can believe in everyone because it just takes a moment for someone to click, and then they are determined to make the change. So Tony says, I loved your answers to the questions. As a WW guide, I can use some of the info for our members. Yeah, perfect. That's the whole plan, right? I mean, I tell you, you know, this is one of those jobs, right? You want to work yourself out of a job, right? Totally. You know, how fun would it be if no one on the planet was ever overweight again? That'd be kind of cool, right? I mean, it would be awesome. And so that's the game plan. And so I believe it's possible. I really do. You know, we got a lot of work to do, but it totally, it's not impossible. It's doable. I don't know how, but it's doable. It's up to us to figure out the how together. So very fun. So that's the game plan. The number's right here. If you want to, so now we're at 10:30. That was an hour. We may have time to do one more quick conversation. If you want to, certainly you can text me and then we can make a phone call. Otherwise, I'll probably just go ahead and wrap up because I do have to get to work early in the morning. It's military weekend for me again. 3 more left. So actually now, so I have to drill again in May and drill again in June, and then I'm done for my weekend work and retire August 1st officially, but ceremony is June 28th. Go to fatdag.com. You can see the countdown clock. You can click on the countdown clock, and you get the secret link to get invited to the ceremony. So you could do that. So cool. All right. On that note, let me go ahead and wrap this up. Let's do that because that is, like I said, it's going to be. Let's see. Hang on real quick. I had another quote before. Jan is saying, Jan says, Mike, can you talk about what Lacey was saying, how when we get close to a certain number, we don't achieve it? I didn't see that comment, but it's mental, right? There's mental barriers that you know, a lot of us aren't willing to cross. And so, you know, I will answer that a little I have to think on that one, but I know what you're saying and I believe it. And I know it's a true phenomenon. I know you can motor through it. Right. And so I want to figure out how I want to word that. I'm glad you didn't ask me that on the phone because I would have had to think a little differently. Let's see. Jane says, when you ask the question, what's the hardest thing you've ever had to done? The mindset that got you through that is what the mindset is going to get you the weight loss journey. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. So you would do WW. You would do WW if they told you you're not going to have success in some form. It's just how you're going to accept that change. Yep. Kathy says, Are we keeping up your sleep? Are you keeping up your sleep? No, my sleep is, I'm at 6.5 to 7 hours a week. A week. Yeah. 6.5 to 7 hours a night is what I kind of get. So gotcha. Marge said you wouldn't. So yeah, they want you, right. Well, first of all, again, so the coolest thing about them is that when they say members following the plan can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, come on, that was vetted by 18 trillion lawyers. They paid millions of dollars for some lawyer to research that to be able to say it. Because if they said that members following the plan can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, and you joined and you exchanged money in a contract, which is what you've done, they are legally responsible for their end of the contract. So my guess, Mike Daggett, Fat Dag's guess, is that the true data is significantly more than 1 to 2 pounds a week. That's the recommended safe number, so that's all they're going to commit to. But members following the plan generally probably lose more, but they have to put the number at a place where they know that they can guarantee it. And so if they said, the whole results not typical thing, that's crazy. This one is, no, results are typical. You put in the work, you figure it out, you work with the team to help you figure it out. It's totally doable. Totally doable. So Karen says, should I expect my weight loss to slow down when I go to the gym and actually work out? I don't know. It's for some it does. I don't know the science behind it. That's why I don't know. I don't think it should. I think I don't think we build muscle faster than we lose weight. I think I want to kind of dig into that too. As we build muscle, there is such a thing, right? I know I'm way more muscular now than I was 2 years ago. Without a doubt. I can see it. There's no question about it. I am way more muscular now than I was 2 years ago. That has certainly added to my scale number. 100%. I know that without a doubt that is true. I also know I've added some pizza there too. I know that to be true too. So somewhere between the pizza and the extra muscle, I got to figure out what makes most sense for me. Right now I'm content and happy. But what I'm getting at is you can lose, a pound, 1 to 2 pounds a week. I'm not confident you can build 1 to 2 pounds a week of muscle. I just don't know. I don't know that to be true. So if you start going to the gym, yeah, maybe your weight loss will slow down, but you're certainly going to look better. You're certainly going to feel better. And that's what we're after anyways, right? So if all of a sudden you're now bench pressing 18,000 pounds, but the scale didn't move, do you care? I don't. So very good. So Maria says, thanks, Mike, for having this talk tonight. I feel better and have a new plan for the week. I have to get up super early, so good night. God bless you. Thank you for believing me and all of us here, without a doubt. Without a doubt, Maria, for sure. Let's see. Last one, and I'm going to go ahead and sign up. Marty, I'm going to end it on Marty's comment. Marty says, any weight loss program I've tried in the past never worked as well as WW, but again, they've made the science much easier to comprehend. Fair enough. Fair enough. And so I will go one step further. I will go one step further than that, Marty. I would say every single program out there works. Don't care. I don't care if it's keto. I don't care if it's paleo. I don't care if it's Nutrisystem, Jenny Craig, Profile. What are the other ones out there? Atkins, of course, WW. Every single program works. Did you hear that? Every single one. I don't care which one you try. If you try it and you do it exactly as the author told you it worked, I promise you, you would get their results. Now, could you sustain it? Different conversation. I'm not saying it's going to work long term. I am saying every single program out there does work as written if you follow it to the letter. You may not be able to follow it to the letter because if you told me I got to cut out carbs, never. Can't do it. So whatever diet says I can't have carbs, if I could follow it, sure, it would work. The reality is I won't be able to follow it for long. I could follow it for a month, maybe. I could follow it maybe for 2 months if the why was really, really strong. I can't follow it for life. If I show up at a birthday party and the only food there is pizza, and then on the way home the car breaks down and we're stuck on the side of the road and the only thing I have left is carbs, I'm going to eat them, right? So I got to find something that works into my lifestyle, and that's what WW has done for me, is it find me a way to incorporate my life into my goals. How fun is that? So yeah, I believe every single program out there works, but you got to find the one that works for you. You got to find the one that makes you happy. You got to find the one that you can sustain for life. So on that note, Marty and all, thank you for that. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So tomorrow is Sunday. Maybe we'll do this again tomorrow. I don't know. We'll try. That's the game plan. We'll keep an eye on Facebook. I'll put that out there. Also put it out on Twitter as well. But thank you for being here. Have a great night. Have a great Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. Build that consistency through the weekend and go after it. You can do this. You totally can do this. I believe in you. Man, if you're still listening, I believe in you. And I'm not kidding. I believe in you more now than I ever did. And more so, I believe in everyone else just a little bit more too, because you now started with a little bit of doubt, and then you reconfirmed in the middle that even those with the most amount of doubt can still believe in themselves. So on that note, thank you all. Thanks always to the Patreon community for keeping this thing going for me. Appreciate all of them, all you guys over here. Appreciate all of that. I always forget which way to point. Appreciate all of them. If you want to sign up and to be a patron, we do a chat every Monday. We text from 3 to 4 Eastern time. You can get the details on fatdag.com. Click on the Become a Patron link and hop in there. It's as little as $1 a month. You can do $1 million a month if you want, but I'm only asking for $1 a month to do that. So hop in there. We'll see you on Monday. We call it Mondag. But that's going to do it for this time. Remember now, so losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck, right? You got to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goals and go after it. I wish all of you, I wish you guys good focus. Good night. Happy Saturday.